Welcome to the Java Cafe, Java fam.
This is what happens when you do a second show at 9 a.m. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. For those of you that are just tuning in at 9 a.m., you may see some reference to the fact that we came on at 8 a.m. this morning. We are considering switching the hour to 8 a.m. As many of you know, we started in the pandemic when a lot of people were home from work, working from home. And though some people still are, a lot of folks aren't. And so this week is a trial and error period. We're going to be with you for a few moments, do a recap of what we talked about this morning at 8 a.m. But it is Juneteenth, the federal holiday. For those of you that are just joining, that wasn't with us at 8 a.m., let's go in and say good morning. Charlotte, good morning. Let's go to your first comment. Charlotte said, good morning, Jimmy and Java fam. Totally forgot about the 8 a.m. switch, so I just finished a replay. Happy Juneteenth to you as well. And also, Charlotte, I didn't put the Mental Health Monday today because Dr. Brandy isn't with us and we're focusing on Juneteenth. But since it's the 9 a.m. hour, for those of you that are here, take a couple of seconds and put your mental health status in the comments. How are you feeling today? Just by using one word. Again, we're going to be with you for about 10 more minutes. Again, we're switching over to the 8 a.m. hour. Stacy, good to see you back in the room for a second. Sister Socks, good morning. Good to see you in the room. Morning, Java family. Mama Java, special morning greetings to you, Socks. Good to see you in the room. Sister Rena, good to see you in the room again as well. And Sister Debbie, good morning again. Lasagna, I love you too. And Soraya as well. And so, as I said before, for those of you that are hearing it again, we're switching around, playing with, to be very honest with you, the 8 a.m. hour and to see what the engagement is like in that hour. And so, and of course, as I said this morning, about just an hour ago, that I would pick a federal holiday after being out all weekend to get up at 7:30 and be ready for 8 a.m. That's why my voice sounds so wonderful this morning. But the other thing I wanted to do is, and I did this, and for those of you that watched it, again, bear with me this week. We did have the opportunity to hear an awesome presentation of Lift Every Voice yesterday, and I would like to share that with you all. Deirdre, good morning. Good to see you in the room as well. I would like to share that with you all that we're not in at 8 a.m. I'm going to share some information about Thursday, and we're going to be on our way. Do your best tomorrow to come in at 8 a.m. Tomorrow, we will be 8 a.m. and 9 because of your Healthy Java tomorrow with MGH. And so let's go and listen to this wonderful young lady by the name of Gloria Brand that sang the Black National Anthem at the MGH Alpha Phi Alpha Dudley Main Street's Juneteenth celebration yesterday.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicings rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the hope that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the faith that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won.
So that was Gloria Brand, who was part of the celebration yesterday. And I just really enjoyed her. You may have heard a little attempt to try to harmonize with her there at the end, and she caught it. She said something about it toward the or after her performance. But I just wanted to show that and commemorate the federal Juneteenth holiday. Also wanted to remind you, remember that this Thursday, those of you that are seeing this transition and trying out the 8 a.m. hour, you also remember that we started off Java with Jimmy with an iPhone. Well, we went from an iPhone to this aesthetic here, and Thursday from the iPhone to the waterfront. We're going to have Java with Jimmy on the waterfront at the ICA this Thursday at 5 p.m. June 23rd for Waterfront Wellness Week. This is one of the special and closeout events for the Coalition for a Resilient and Inclusive Waterfront. We are closing out their Wellness Week this Thursday at 5 p.m. We are going to have a after work, I'm going to call it an after work, get down social hour. We're going to keep the Black joy flowing from Juneteenth. This panel that we're going to talk about after the after work social will consist of Dr. Joe Betancourt, Sheena Collier, James Morton, and also Reverend Mariama White Hammond. Those who have moved in the space of equity. Reverend Mariama White Hammond has always moved around climate justice and things like that. James Morton oversees the YMCA that has a lot of aquatics programs when it comes to water and water safety. And also Sheena Collier talks often, and she's been my guest before, talking about Black spaces in Boston. Dr. Betancourt is going to talk about wellness and the relationship to open spaces, especially coming out from the pandemic. And so after the social hour, we're going to come and do what we do and chat it up. And then after that, the panel, there'll be a small an announcement made just with a slight surprise for that evening. So please make sure you go and register. Go and register at this link here. It is case specific. Go and register to make sure. I believe they're doing name tags. I'm not sure. We have a meeting tomorrow and Wednesday, and I got to be there early Thursday. So it's as I said before, it's getting real that we're going to be on the waterfront. So make sure you go and register, and please plan to come and see the rest of the Java fam, meet new Java fam members. There are a lot of folks that I ran into this weekend. I'm coming Thursday. We're going to be there Thursday. And so, yeah, I'm excited, nervous about Thursday. If you did not watch the 8 a.m. hour, I would ask you and encourage you to go back. As I said, this week is going to be interesting. I'm asking for your patience now. We will be back tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., but then we're coming back at 9 a.m. for your Healthy Java. And so it's just, we're figuring it out. Things are changing. We're coming back outside. Not as many people are home at 9 a.m. And so folks are saying that they weren't able to watch it. And I know they go back and watch the replay, but there's nothing like this live interaction that we do. Actually, let me go in. I think I checked on most of the. Okay. Kathleen Nichols, good morning. Good to see you in the room. Welcome. You all say welcome to Kathleen, her first time this morning. So say good morning to her. Daryl, thank you for coming back, sir. And for you come at the 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. hour. So I appreciate you, sir, very much. But again, we're not going to be long this morning. Just a quick shot for those that were coming in at 9 a.m., for those that were faithful or that are faithful over the past 2.5 years. I'm not necessarily saying we're leaving right now, the 9 a.m. hour, but we'll see how it goes this week, and we'll get back to you next week. So, Patrice, Thank you so much for saying welcome. Mama Java has welcomed you into the family. Also, Charlotte as well. Thank you all so much. This is a family here, Kathleen. So we cry, we pray, we fuss, we cuss, we joke. Sometimes we're even a little ratchet. So welcome, Kathleen, to the show, and hopefully you'll come down and meet some of the Java fam on Thursday. Look who's in the room. What's up, nephew? Only reason he's here because he kind of has the day off. But Dre, good to see you in the room, brother. Good to see you in the room. Lasagna, thank you for welcoming Kathleen as well. And Ma, I don't know if I said good morning to you, but good morning. So yes, go back and check out the 8 o'clock hour. And we will let you guys know how that's going. I don't know what's going to happen because, to be very honest with you, next week is a regular week, but then the week after that, your boy's on the road. So yeah, we have to figure it out. We may have to do some pre-records and just show them, but I know that it's this live in the comments interaction. It's one of the staples of our brand. So y'all pray for me as I figure it out. I'm talking to props. Lasagna has given some input as well. And Lasagna said, we are not ratchet. We're real. Okay, so thank you, Lasagna. And as I said, that's one of the reasons why I check in with her. We're real, Kathleen, at times, and sometimes it can just be funny. We're not as risque in the 9 a.m. hour. But Kathleen, look out for Java After Dark coming soon. That is where maybe you'll see some of the ratchery, as I call it, come out. But Kathleen is saying thanks, and this is great. So it's good to see you in the room. Kathleen, invite others to come in. I'm being upfront with you. We're figuring it out as we go. But thank you so much for all of you traveling with Java with Jimmy. Yes, yes, Patrice, there is actually a travel section on the website that I need to stay up to date with. It's just so much, y'all. It's Mental Health Monday, technically. So for those of you that usually come in the 9 a.m. hour, let's do a little bit of that, and then we'll go. Put one word in the comments that express your mental health status right now. How are you feeling today? What's going on with you? And then for sure, we'll get ready to go. Someone said to me, well, James, if you're trying to switch people over to 8, why did you come back at 9? I don't know. This is us, so it's going to take some adjusting for me as well. Mama Java said that she is tired. I understand. Y'all keep my mother and family in prayer as well. Lasagna said that she's feeling peachy. Stacy said she's feeling refreshed. Who else? I think I got everybody. Ayana, my sister's in the room, y'all. Good to see you, Ayana. Got to see you this weekend. Saw you hanging out at Fenway Park yesterday. I'm gonna leave that right there. Did you enjoy your burgers and hot dogs, Ayana, on Saturday at the park? Kathleen is saying, I'm feeling okay. Just got back from Ohio, back to work. Yeah. You got to work today? This is supposed to be a federal holiday. I heard some of these agencies or entities or employers or corporations, they had to adjust. And so some of them aren't incorporating the federal holidayness until next year. Kathleen, you stay encouraged at work, but take you a couple of seconds like you're doing now and do something for Juneteenth for yourself. But Kathleen, thanks for sharing. So we have Bless. Linda, good to see you in the room. Tashad, good morning. Good to see you in the room as well. I was hanging with Tashad all weekend, her and others, Kania. They oversaw the Boston Wild Black coming together for Juneteenth, and we had a good time. We stayed on the grill. Tashad, I was going to say tell your mom, but that's Kania's mom. Miss Nancy did it as well. Brother Greg Lee from the Boston Globe Black News Hour came and held me down. Sheena called him the sous chef, but shout out to him if he's get a chance to check this out over on Twitter. But it would. So y'all in the Java Cafe don't know about this, but among a certain group, I got the title of Uncle Jimmy because I led them on a path across Franklin Park and then had to make sure we all stayed together. I'm probably the oldest one out the group, but Ayana, that's all right. We you know, we'll come up with a name. Ayana's nickname is actually AP, like Ayanna Presley, but we'll come up with something for you. Maybe Tashad will help me. Tashad is saying, "Oh, thank you, Jimmy, for being our grill master." Absolutely, it was definitely fun. Tay, good morning. Good to see you in the room. Good to see you, Ayana. See, yep, that's all right. I'm gonna get you back. Where's Quincy? He can help start some trouble in here. But listen, Ayana said the burger was great. You know, we put a little seasoning on it. But again, we're back at the 9 a.m. hour. I'm so excited to see people in the room that may not have had to work today. Some folks that aren't able to make it often. We're trying to figure out if 8 a.m. is the best time for more folks to come in often. So again, y'all pray for a brother. I seen somebody in saying before that I got this or whatever. Thank you so much for that encouragement. Rena reminded us that she's feeling bubbly this morning. So it's good to see everybody doing well this morning. There was a lot of Black joy last week, again, starting with King Boston, and just the feeling Friday at the block party at the Blair lot, of course at Franklin Park. I mean, it was just from all the sororities and the fraternities that were there. It was so much of a family. How do I say this? It was so much of a family that we had family members that we didn't know coming and just grabbing food and drinks. This one young man, toward the end, we're sitting, we're halfway packed up, waiting to go. And I see this little boy just come around and starts digging in the Pepsi box. There was no issue, but you know, I'm old school. And so we were taught, you know, you don't talk to strangers. And definitely my mother and especially my grandmother would have a fit that if I was at what they back then would call a picnic or a cookout, and I took my happy self over to somebody else's area to grab a Pepsi. So maybe I shouldn't say this. So maybe, so he comes around and he starts digging in the box. So I say, "Hey, young man, how you doing, sir? Who you with?" I know. I said, "Can I help you?" He said, "No." He takes the Pepsi can out and he was just like, literally, he took the can out. He was like, "No." I said, "Well, who are you?" You know, because Boston Wild Black had that area for Boston Wild Black. But I can tell you that being either at the entrance or the way it was set up, or maybe it was them smelling the grill master's food. But I would say at least 45% of the people that came through that entrance stopped at our table. And it was like you almost couldn't say no. But toward the end, you know, member services was like, "Listen, we got some other members coming and we need to make sure at least they get, you know," so we had to kind of figure out, you know, how to handle it. But back to this young man. I said, "Who are you with?" Thinking he was with maybe some of the adults from Boston Wild Black. He said, "Nobody here." And when I forgot who was sitting next to me. When I tell you this little boy walked all the way, and if you're familiar with the entrance by the Shattuck, he didn't go anywhere in our area. He didn't go anywhere in the 2 or 3 areas down. I saw this boy walk down all the way down I was going to say aisle, down the path. We'll just say that Boston Wild Black had a very welcoming space. We'll just leave that there. But listen, it was definitely a good time of family. And Tashad said, "We are the community. Everyone can eat." Absolutely. But Tashad, it was Tashad. You know, there was a couple of times and y'all know how we do. Y'all know how family do. Somebody comes to the cookout, they didn't bring nothing or whatever, and then they walking out with 2 plates. So absolutely, we do feed everybody. And we did. I know we did want to, but it was so funny. Greg and I were cracking up. It was just a good time, but this is what we do. Tasha said, "Let the baby have his Pepsi." We did, but yes, props. We did 8 a.m. We're doing both. The young man walked away with the Pepsi, but it was, again, I'm old school, so I'm just sitting back watching from like, we would never do that. But it was a really good time. And in all seriousness, Boston While Black did have that like space where folks just, I mean, it was automatic without question. Folk would just walk it up to the table. Hot dog, hamburger, do you have cheese? Then people came and they were trying to buy the burgers, and we weren't accepting any money. But it was definitely a good time. We were next to the NAACP, the partnership that was there. Also, Urban League of Eastern Massachusetts was there as one of the co-sponsors. And so it was definitely a good time. And one of the things that a lot of people did talk about, or I saw a few posts about, there were so many events on Saturday. And on one hand, I get it. Would it be great that if we could put some huge Fenway, I don't know, Gillette's, well, no, we need to keep it in the hood. Like we shut down all of Roxbury. I don't know. But I think there's value to having multiple events in multiple areas. Hyde Park had their own Juneteenth event. And, right next to Southie, Hyde Park in that West Roxbury area, sometimes some of the residents aren't as open to DEI events. Is that a nice way to frame it? Sometimes they just aren't. Some of those neighborhoods at times have been known to not be as accepting toward Black and brown people. And so for that Juneteenth event to happen in Hyde Park was definitely awesome. And so I get that, because some folks felt like, well, I want to go to this one, but this one is here. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But shout out to those that ensured that the Franklin Park event happened. Again, NAACP, Boston While Black, Urban League of Eastern Massachusetts, the partnership, and others. It's just been a great time of Black joy. And even with King Boston, let's go back to BAMS Fest. But the thing is, how do we keep this consistent and not just from BAMS Fest through Juneteenth? What's going on in July? What's going on I can tell y'all what's going on in July. July 16th, Boston While Black is going back and taking over Lawn on the D. But we want to keep these open spaces always going. Props and I were talking about it last night. We got to figure out how to do it, right here in Boston, and even in the fall and winter, yes, in COVID, and we may have to go on the inside in the winter and figure it out. But just being around so many Black people, and there were allies there and people that may not identify as Black, but the 87.9% of the people these past 2 weeks have been Black and brown, high yellow, whatever, but got melanin in them. And it's just been you just sit there in this feeling of like, yeah. And in Boston, that hasn't always been the case. So with that being said, I'm going to get ready to wrap up this morning. Thank those of you that was here. Spark FM also has their event, I believe, July 24th. So yeah, we need to keep this going. Absolutely. Props, I ain't messing with you this morning. Patrice is saying, yes, we definitely need this to be consistently done throughout the community and for the culture. Absolutely. Tashad is saying, you're right. We got to stay active and keep the community engaged throughout the year, even when it's cold. Even when it's cold. Y'all, never mind. I'm going to get in trouble. All right, folks. Quick shot at 9 a.m. We'll be back tomorrow at 8 a.m. For those of you that have to go to work tomorrow, hop on while you're getting dressed, listen in the background at 8 a.m. Then at 9 a.m., we'll be back with Your Healthy Java. Don't forget this Thursday at 5 p.m., we are at the ICA for Java with Jimmy on the waterfront. Hope to see you there. Make sure you go and register at this link here. We are just about at our desired capacity. We have left some space because, everybody don't register. And some folks will try to show up. And then some folks that register can't make it. And if you do event management, you know how that formula works. So thank you all for tuning in at the 9 a.m. hour. Thank all of you that tuned in at 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. We're figuring this out. If you have some thoughts about, whether we do segments, whether we go from 8 a.m. to 9:15 or so, I don't know about that. We're figuring it out as we go. Props is a thought partner here. Lasagna is a thought partner here. Also, for those of you that know Props, he's in town as of tomorrow. We'll try to figure something out, but he's in town for family and downtime. Has already told me he's not, going to be waiting around waiting for stuff and me and all that other stuff. So hopefully, maybe there'll be something that some of y'all can come and meet Props. I don't know. We may figure it out. We may not, because he's coming to see family. Tashad is saying that U.S. Black residents, local Black orgs, everyone got ideas. We can activate those. We can. And to just honor, each other. And will there be times that, there'll be 2 or 3 events? Boston is known for 50 events on one weekend and then no events for like 3 weeks and then another 75 on the weekend after that. Figuring out a way to keep it consistent. And we always, there doesn't just have to be one event, but, figuring out a way to collaborate, support one another. I'm not going to go into that, but Boston is an interesting place trying to do that. And I think that calls for. And I'll leave that there as I get ready to go. And Prop said y'all can meet and greet him at the dispensary. Anyway, I'm getting off of here, you guys. We will see you tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Thaddeus is in the room. Good morning, Unc. Good to see you in the room. I don't know if you picked up, but some of the younger us at City Hall have started referring to me as Uncle Jimmy. So good to see you in the room, Uncle Thaddeus. Where did I see you Saturday? I don't know, but it's good to see you. It is good to see you, sir. Happy Father's Day to you. For those that are joining at 9, and I didn't say Happy Father's Day yet. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers that are in here in the 9 o'clock hour. I think I got all the brothers. I think I saw Daryl come back. Happy Father's Day. Thaddeus, Happy Father's Day. I think I got all the fathers that are in the room. Props, Happy Father's Day to you. And we'll leave that there. You all have a wonderful rest of your federal Juneteenth holiday. Most of us, did it up on Saturday and Sunday. But enjoy this day. Do what you need to do to take care of you. Don't do any work if possible. And just sit back and think about how beyond a day, how beyond a weekend, that we can make sure that we work toward an improved quality of life in Black joy. Let's think about that today. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Thank you all for tuning in. Peace, and we'll see you tomorrow at 8 a.m.